Introduction. Have you ever wondered why certain people in your life seem to trigger intense emotions, whether admiration, frustration, or even fear? What if I told you that these reactions aren't random, but powerful mirrors reflecting something deep within your own soul? Imagine unlocking a secret code that reveals how your inner world shapes every interaction, every relationship, and even the reality you manifest daily. This isn't just spiritual talk or vague philosophy. It's a transformative truth rooted in the cutting-edge understanding of quantum manifestation and shadow work. In the next 40 minutes, you'll embark on a journey unlike any other. One that peels back the layers of your subconscious, challenges old beliefs, and awakens your true power to transform your life. You'll discover why what you resist in others might actually be your greatest key to freedom, and how embracing those reflections can ignite a profound soul transformation. This is the gateway to spiritual awakening, where your energy aligns with your highest purpose, and manifestation stops being a distant dream and becomes your everyday reality. But beware. This path requires courage and honesty. The mirror doesn't lie, and it will show you exactly what you need to see, whether you're ready or not. Are you willing to face what's hidden, to break free from limiting patterns, and to step into a new way of being? If yes, then keep listening, because what lies ahead might just change everything you thought you knew about yourself and your world. Chapter 1. Introduction to the Mirror Principle. Have you ever stopped to think that the people around you function as true mirrors? Not in the literal sense, of course, but in the way they reflect your energy, emotions, and even patterns you might not be aware of. This is the foundation of what we call the mirror principle, a powerful tool that invites us to look at others and in fact understand something deep happening inside ourselves. It's as if life hands us an invisible manual, where everything we judge, admire, or reject in others is actually pulsing within our own being. And believe me, once you begin to realize this, everything changes. Relationships, expectations, even how you see yourself in the world. Imagine that every person who crosses your path carries a fragment of your own energy, a reflection of your shadows and your light. This happens because, in essence, we are all connected by a subtle energetic field, a space where quantum manifestation happens almost like magic. When you face someone and feel anger, admiration, or even discomfort, you're receiving a clue about something your own self might be ignoring or trying to manifest unconsciously. No wonder spiritual masters emphasize the importance of doing shadow work, that internal journey of looking at the hidden and often denied parts within us. It's fascinating to realize that the mirror principle isn't just an abstract concept, but an invitation to awaken to a new consciousness. Imagine that you are standing before a mirror that doesn't just show your physical appearance, but reveals your beliefs, your fears, and even your most hidden potentials. From there begins an intense process of spiritual awakening where your perception of reality changes completely. That old way of seeing others as enemies or obstacles loses strength, giving way to understanding and compassion. This is exactly where quantum manifestation comes in, because when we change what we carry inside, we change what we attract outside. And you know what's amazing? This mirror that life presents to us is always in front of our eyes, every day, in small interactions, in everyday conversations, in emotions that arise within us without warning. Understanding this, you become the protagonist of your own reality because you begin to recognize that what reflects in others is a valuable opportunity for self-knowledge and growth. It's as if every emotional reaction is a coded message from your own inner universe, asking you to decode and work on it, using techniques involving both shadow work and mirror work to align your energy with your deepest truth. To begin understanding this subtle game between the internal and the external, it is essential to keep an open mind and a keen curiosity. We're not talking about cheap magic, but about a spiritual science where consciousness expands and manifestation happens when there's alignment between the heart and the mind. Joe Dispenza often says, "The mind creates the reality we experience, and it is precisely this mind you can train to recognize the mirrors, decode their messages, and transform the reflected energy into something light, pure, and connected with your higher purpose." Without a doubt, understanding the mirror principle is the gateway to a fascinating journey of self-transformation. Chapter 2. How people function as emotional mirrors. Have you ever noticed how certain people trigger strong emotions in you, whether admiration, irritation, or even jealousy? This isn't just coincidence. It's a profound reflection of your own inner world. The idea that others act as emotional mirrors means that the feelings you experience when interacting with people reveal something deep about your own emotional landscape. When you feel drawn to someone or conversely repelled, it's often because they reflect back to you aspects of yourself that are either embraced or rejected. This is where the art of shadow work becomes essential, as it helps you explore those hidden or suppressed emotions that others inadvertently bring to the surface. Think of it like this. When you encounter someone who seems angry, judgmental, or dismissive, your reaction isn't just about them. It's a mirror showing you where similar energies or unresolved feelings exist within you. Conversely, when you meet someone radiant, kind, or inspiring, they might be reflecting your highest potential or qualities you've yet to fully recognize or manifest. This dynamic interplay between internal energy and external reflection is at the heart of quantum manifestation. As Abraham Hicks reminds us, when you're aligned with your higher self, everything flows, and these reflections from others help guide you toward that alignment. The emotional mirror is not limited to just feelings, but also to patterns of behavior and thought. For example, if you constantly find yourself frustrated with someone's perfectionism, it might be worth asking whether you have perfectionist tendencies that you haven't fully acknowledged. Mirror work invites you to look beyond surface judgments and dive into the root causes, helping you uncover beliefs and emotions that shape your experiences. This process is powerful for soul transformation, because it uncovers the blocks that prevent you from living authentically and manifesting your true desires. On a practical level, paying attention to emotional triggers in relationships can be a gateway to deeper self-awareness and healing. Instead of blaming or distancing yourself from difficult people, imagine shifting your perspective to see them as teachers or guides in your spiritual awakening. This shift creates space for compassion, not just for others, but especially for yourself. Eckhart Tolle beautifully said, "True freedom comes when you are present, and becoming present with your emotional responses is the first step to breaking free from unconscious cycles and creating space for new realities." There are many ways to work with this concept daily. For instance, journaling about your reactions to others, practicing mindful breathing when triggered, or using affirmations such as, "I lovingly accept all parts of myself," can gradually dissolve resistance and invite healing. The more you engage in this reflective process, the more your energy aligns with your authentic self, making your manifestations clearer and more effortless. This ongoing dance between inner awareness and outer reflection is the essence of the mirror principle in action. The journey of understanding others as mirrors is a never-ending exploration, constantly revealing new layers of your soul and inviting you to grow. It's an invitation to embrace discomfort and beauty alike, knowing that every interaction is part of a larger quantum dance of energies. As you become fluent in reading these mirrors, your spiritual awakening deepens, and your ability to consciously Co-create your reality through quantum manifestation blossoms, and as we move forward, we'll explore how this awareness fuels profound self-knowledge and transformation. Chapter 3. Self-knowledge through the mirror. One of the most transformative aspects of the mirror principle is how it becomes a gateway to profound self-knowledge. When you tune into what you feel about others, you're essentially holding up a mirror to your own inner world, unveiling parts of yourself that may have been hidden or ignored. This isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it shines a light on shadows, fears, or limiting beliefs, but it's the raw material for deep soul transformation. Imagine recognizing that the irritation you feel toward a friend's behavior actually reveals impatience or judgment inside you. This realization opens the door to healing and growth, transforming old patterns into stepping stones for your evolution. In practical terms, self-knowledge through the mirror encourages you to pause and reflect every time a strong emotional response arises. Instead of reacting impulsively or dismissing the feeling, ask yourself, what is this showing me about myself? This simple but powerful question can unravel layers of subconscious programming, enabling you to discover unresolved wounds or desires buried beneath the surface. Many spiritual teachers emphasize this as a crucial step in spiritual awakening. For example, Eckhart Tolle's teaching on presence invites us to witness these emotional reflections without judgment, cultivating a compassionate awareness that dissolves egoic defenses. Consider the power of journaling as a tool here. Writing about your reactions to others, then reflecting on what these reactions reveal about your own beliefs, fears, or desires, creates a bridge between unconscious patterns and conscious awareness. You might jot down, "I felt jealous of my colleague's success," and then explore what that jealousy uncovers, perhaps a longing for recognition or a fear of inadequacy. This ongoing practice not only sharpens your emotional intelligence, but also activates quantum manifestation by aligning your inner state with your authentic goals. A compelling example of this process comes from the story of Bob Proctor, one of the most renowned figures in the law of attraction community. He often spoke about how confronting his own limiting beliefs, reflected through his interactions with others, was key to manifesting his abundant reality. By doing the hard work of shadow integration and mirror reflection, Bob shifted from self-doubt to self-mastery, which radically changed the trajectory of his life. This story illustrates the incredible potential of using the mirror as a tool for deep, lasting change. Self-knowledge through the mirror also challenges us to embrace paradox. Sometimes the qualities we reject most fiercely in others are the very ones we need to integrate for our wholeness. This can be a tough pill to swallow, but it's a doorway to radical acceptance and self-love. Affirmations like, "I accept all parts of myself with compassion," or meditative practices focused on loving kindness can support this process, enhancing the harmony between your inner and outer worlds. As you cultivate this reflective awareness, you begin to notice a beautiful shift. Relationships become less about conflict and more about connection. The mirror becomes less of a surface to judge and more of a window into your own growth and healing. This evolving dynamic naturally sets the stage for exploring how projection and rejection play a pivotal role in this energetic exchange, which is exactly where we'll head next. Chapter 4. Projection and Rejection. Projection is one of those fascinating yet tricky mechanisms our mind uses to shield us from uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Essentially, when we judge or criticize someone else intensely, we're often projecting parts of ourselves that we haven't fully accepted or understood. Think about a time when someone's behavior annoyed or upset you deeply. Chances are, there's a hidden piece of your own shadow lurking behind that reaction. This is why shadow work is so crucial. It helps us recognize these projections and gently bring them back into conscious awareness, paving the way for healing and soul transformation. This process of projection creates an energetic mirror where what we see outside is a distorted reflection of what's inside. Often, we reject qualities in others because they highlight something uncomfortable or unfamiliar within ourselves. For example, if you find yourself strongly disliking arrogance in someone, it may be that you're rejecting your own need for confidence or recognition. Eckhart Tolle's words resonate deeply here. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. When you start seeing projections for what they are, you can loosen the grip those thoughts have on your emotions and reactions. Rejection, closely tied to projection, is the defense mechanism that keeps these shadow aspects locked away. It's like an invisible wall that says, "This part of me is unacceptable, so I'll push it onto someone else." But ironically, rejection only deepens inner conflict and blocks the flow of authentic expression. Through conscious mirror work and shadow integration, you can dismantle these walls by embracing those rejected parts with kindness and curiosity. Affirmations such as, "I lovingly accept all aspects of myself," can be surprisingly effective in rewiring these old patterns. Scientifically speaking, projection isn't just a spiritual metaphor. Psychological research supports it as a defense mechanism that helps maintain our self-image. Yet it becomes a trap when overused, distorting our perception of reality and damaging relationships. That's why practices like mindfulness and meditative presence, key tools in spiritual awakening, are vital. They help us catch ourselves in the act of projecting, creating space to choose a different response and shift our energetic alignment toward clarity and compassion. A powerful case that illustrates projection and its transformative potential comes from the life of Deepak Chopra. He describes how facing his own internal projections and shadow fears was essential to his spiritual awakening and ability to manifest abundance. By learning to observe rather than react to his internal projections, he unlocked a new level of freedom and creative power. His journey reminds us that projection isn't a curse, but a signpost pointing toward what needs healing. The more you practice recognizing projection and rejection within your daily interactions, the more you'll see how liberating it is to stop blaming the outside world and turn the gaze inward. This shift is not only liberating, but also essential for true quantum manifestation, as it aligns your energy with acceptance and love. As we continue, we'll explore how embracing acceptance and self-love becomes the foundation for healing those internal fractures and enhancing your energetic flow. Chapter 4: Projection and Rejection with Curiosity Hook. Projection is one of those fascinating yet tricky mechanisms our mind uses to shield us from uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Essentially, when we judge or criticize someone else intensely, we're often projecting parts of ourselves that we haven't fully accepted or understood. Think about a time when someone's behavior annoyed or upset you deeply. Chances are, there's a hidden piece of your own shadow lurking behind that reaction. This is why shadow work is so crucial. It helps us recognize these projections and gently bring them back into conscious awareness, paving the way for healing and soul transformation. This process of projection creates an energetic mirror where what we see outside is a distorted reflection of what's inside. Often, we reject qualities in others because they highlight something uncomfortable or unfamiliar within ourselves. For example, if you find yourself strongly disliking arrogance in someone, it may be that you're rejecting your own need for confidence or recognition. Eckhart Tolle's words resonate deeply here. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. When you start seeing projections for what they are, you can loosen the grip those thoughts have on your emotions and reactions. Rejection, closely tied to projection, is the defense mechanism that keeps these shadow aspects locked away. It's like an invisible wall that says, "This part of me is unacceptable, so I'll push it onto someone else." But ironically, rejection only deepens inner conflict and blocks the flow of authentic expression. Through conscious mirror work and shadow integration, you can dismantle these walls by embracing those rejected parts with kindness and curiosity. Affirmations such as, "I lovingly accept all aspects of myself," can be surprisingly effective in rewiring these old patterns. Scientifically speaking, projection isn't just a spiritual metaphor. Psychological research supports it as a defense mechanism that helps maintain our self-image. Yet it becomes a trap when overused, distorting our perception of reality and damaging relationships. That's why practices like mindfulness and meditative presence, key tools in spiritual awakening, are vital. They help us catch ourselves in the act of projecting, creating space to choose a different response and shift our energetic alignment toward clarity and compassion. A powerful case that illustrates projection and its transformative potential comes from the life of Deepak Chopra. He describes how facing his own internal projections and shadow fears was essential to his spiritual awakening and ability to manifest abundance. By learning to observe rather than react to his internal projections, he unlocked a new level of freedom and creative power. His journey reminds us that projection isn't a curse, but a signpost pointing toward what needs healing. The more you practice recognizing projection and rejection within your daily interactions, the more you'll discover a surprising truth, one that many overlook, that these very shadows you resist hold the key to unlocking your deepest freedom and power. What if the parts you push away are actually the missing pieces to manifesting your most authentic life? As we dive deeper, you'll learn exactly how acceptance and self-love become the mysterious doorway to transforming not just your relationships, but your entire energetic reality. Chapter 5. The importance of acceptance and self-love. Acceptance and self-love aren't just feel-good phrases. They're fundamental pillars in the journey of healing and transformation. When you start embracing all parts of yourself, the light and the shadow, the strengths and the flaws, you open the door to profound soul transformation. This isn't about settling for less or ignoring your growth areas. It's about recognizing your inherent worth, regardless of imperfections. Spiritual teachers like Abraham Hicks remind us, the law of attraction brings what you are, not what you want, meaning your energy and self-perception literally shape your reality. So, cultivating genuine acceptance becomes a powerful tool in manifesting the life you desire. Many people struggle with acceptance because they tie their worth to external achievements or validation. But true self-love is an inside job. Imagine starting your day with affirmations such as, "I am worthy of love and abundance just as I am," or "Every part of me is worthy of compassion." These simple yet profound statements begin rewiring your subconscious mind, shifting your energetic vibration into alignment with your highest self. This alignment is at the core of quantum manifestation. When your inner world harmonizes with your desires, manifestation becomes natural and effortless. Acceptance also dissolves the resistance that blocks healing. When you reject parts of yourself, you create inner friction that manifests as anxiety, self-doubt, or even physical tension. Conversely, when you respond to your struggles with kindness and understanding, you activate a healing flow that nurtures your whole being. Practices like mirror work, looking into your own eyes and speaking words of love, can be incredibly transformative. It's a simple yet profound act that rewires neural pathways and fosters deep emotional resilience. A powerful example comes from the journey of Eckhart Tolle, who described how embracing his own pain and loneliness led to a profound spiritual awakening. Instead of fighting his inner turmoil, he welcomed it, which shifted his consciousness and allowed him to manifest peace and fulfillment beyond his previous understanding. His story exemplifies how acceptance and self-love are not passive states, but active, courageous practices that pave the way for true freedom. On a practical level, integrating acceptance into your daily routine might include meditation focused on self-compassion, journaling about your achievements without judgment, or even simple breathing exercises that help you reconnect with your body and emotions. These tools strengthen your energetic foundation and open pathways for new manifestations. Remember, as Joe Dispenza says, to change is to think greater than your environment, and acceptance is the first step in that expansive process. As you deepen your practice of acceptance and self-love, you'll notice shifts not only within, but also in your relationships and the opportunities that come your way. This energetic realignment creates fertile ground for practical transformation, which naturally leads us to explore how to apply the mirror principle in daily life with concrete exercises and reflections. Chapter 6. Practical applications of the mirror principle. Now that we've explored the deep concepts behind the mirror principle, it's time to bring this awareness into your everyday life. Practical application is where transformation truly takes root. One of the most effective ways to start is through simple yet powerful exercises that cultivate mindfulness and self-reflection. For example, try this. When you feel triggered by someone, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what part of me is this reflecting? This isn't just a mental question, but an invitation to dive into your emotional landscape with curiosity and compassion. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to catch projections before they take hold. Journaling can be another incredible tool. At the end of each day, write about moments where your reactions to others were intense or surprising. Then, explore what these reactions reveal about your internal world. You might discover recurring themes like insecurity, jealousy, or impatience that you hadn't consciously acknowledged before. Once identified, these become your next targets for shadow work and healing. Affirmations like, "I am open to seeing myself clearly and lovingly," can support this process, gently guiding your energy toward balance. Meditation and breathwork also play vital roles in practical mirror work. Techniques such as quantum meditation help you tune into your vibrational state, making you more aware of energetic shifts when you interact with others. Visualizing yourself surrounded by a protective, loving light can create space to process difficult emotions without overwhelm. Even a few minutes a day can build emotional resilience and deepen your connection with your authentic self, enhancing your ability to manifest with clarity and intention. Real-life examples reinforce the power of applying the mirror principle. Take the story of Esther Hicks and the law of attraction. By becoming aware of the energy she projected and aligning it consciously, she transformed her life and inspired millions. This underscores that practical exercises aren't just theoretical. They ripple out into tangible change, affecting relationships, career, and personal growth. Your consistent practice is what shifts energetic patterns and attracts new realities aligned with your soul transformation. Group work or discussions can also amplify your mirror work. Sharing insights with trusted friends or mentors allows you to receive feedback and gain perspectives you might not see alone. Sometimes others act as mirrors in a more direct way, helping you spot blind spots and encouraging deeper reflection. This social dimension of mirror work adds richness and accountability to your spiritual awakening journey. As you integrate these practical tools, you'll notice a natural unfolding of self-awareness, emotional balance, and empowered manifestation. But this path doesn't stop here. The mirror principle also deeply connects with your spiritual core and the quantum nature of reality. That's exactly where we'll head next, exploring the intersection between mirror work, spiritual awakening, and quantum manifestation. Chapter 7. Connection with spirituality and manifestation. At its core, the mirror principle is not just about relationships or self-reflection. It's a gateway to a profound spiritual awakening. When you start seeing the world as a reflection of your inner energy, you begin to realize that your consciousness shapes your reality. This insight lies at the heart of quantum manifestation, where your vibrational alignment directly influences what you attract and experience. As Joe Dispenza teaches, the mind creates the reality we experience, meaning that mastering your internal world through mirror work is a key step to consciously co-creating your life. Spirituality deepens this process by inviting you to connect with your higher self, the part of you that transcends ego and embraces unconditional love. When you practice mirror work with this awareness, it becomes a tool to dissolve illusions of separation and foster unity within and without. Abraham Hicks encapsulates this beautifully. When you're aligned with your higher self, everything flows. This alignment isn't a distant goal. It's accessible in every moment through presence and intentionality. Manifestation itself becomes not just about getting what you want, but about embodying the frequency of your desires. Mirror work helps you clear blocks, shadow aspects, limiting beliefs, emotional resistance that cloud your energy and distort your vibration. Through this clearing, you become a magnet for experiences that resonate with your authentic self. Spiritual practices such as meditation, visualization, and breath work amplify this effect by raising your energetic frequency and anchoring your intentions in the quantum field. Consider the inspiring story of Eckhart Tolle, who describes how his spiritual awakening emerged from embracing inner stillness and transcending the mind's judgments, the very mechanisms that feed projection and rejection. His journey illustrates how deepening spiritual awareness transforms the mirror principle from a psychological concept into a living experience of presence and creation. When you awaken to this, your relationships, goals, and everyday moments gain new meaning and power. Practical spirituality integrated with mirror work creates a feedback loop of growth and manifestation. Each insight you gain from reflecting on your interactions fuels your soul transformation, while each manifestation reinforces your spiritual alignment. This cyclical process is where the magic of quantum physics meets the depth of human consciousness, an endless dance of energy, intention, and realization. As you continue this journey, remember that the mirror principle is more than a tool. It's a way of being. It invites you to awaken fully, love deeply, and manifest intentionally. But this is just the beginning. There's a vast quantum field waiting to be explored, full of limitless possibilities and unseen connections. And so, the adventure goes on. Conclusion. As you reach this moment in your journey, take a breath and truly feel the weight of the transformation unfolding within. The mirror principle, is not just an intellectual concept. It's a living experience, a call to awaken the deepest parts of your being. It invites you to face your shadows without fear, to embrace every fragment of yourself with radical compassion, and to dissolve the illusions that have kept you fragmented and disconnected. This process is the very essence of soul transformation, a sacred passage where old stories fall away, making space for the authentic you to emerge radiant and whole. This awakening ripples through every layer of your life, reshaping your relationships, your beliefs, and the very fabric of your reality. It's a continuous unfolding, a dance between light and shadow that invites you to stay present, curious, and courageous. The energy you cultivate through acceptance and self-love becomes the fertile ground from which your dreams and manifestations bloom effortlessly. This is the power of quantum manifestation in action. When your inner world vibrates in harmony, the outer world cannot help but respond. Yet this path asks for more than understanding. It asks for committed, courageous action. It challenges you to move beyond the safety of old patterns and to step boldly into the unknown terrain of your own becoming. The mirror will keep reflecting, and with each reflection, you'll uncover deeper layers, new challenges, and greater opportunities to embody your truth. This is not a destination, but a lifelong journey of awakening and creation. So now I ask you, how will you show up tomorrow, knowing that every interaction holds a mirror to your soul? What choices will you make to honor your growth and step fully into your power? The answers are already within you, waiting to be claimed through presence, intention, and love. If this journey has stirred something within you, I invite you to keep moving forward with openness and dedication. Use the tools and insights you've gained as daily anchors and watch how your world begins to transform in ways both subtle and profound. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and activate notifications, because this path is just beginning and there is so much more to discover together. The mirror has shown you the way. Now it's time to walk it with courage and grace.